What's going on? Good evening. Good evening. What's happening, family? What's going on, fellas? I am going to give this a few minutes. If anyone wants to drop a drop anything in the chat, hopefully you can hear me. Hoping so. We will not be on here long today. I just want to share a quick announcement for you. Um, will not take up much of your time. My name, Derek Davis. Most of you that do know me as a photographer know me through Derek L. Davis Photography. But tonight I'm coming to you from a different lens, no pun intended. I'm coming to you from the another business opportunity or business that I'm kind of branching off to, which is Legacy and Lens Media, which will be a platform for me to have conversations and encouragement for fathers. Many of you know that my boy JP and I recently started our podcast for the Hey Dad podcast, and many of you have been supporting. So thank you for that. Truly, truly do appreciate it. If you have not had an opportunity, go on YouTube, go on our Instagram. We have an Instagram for it for the Hey Dad podcast. Also, let me think, where else do we have anything? I know I've posted some stuff on Facebook. JP has posted some stuff on Facebook as well. So I just want to make sure that you guys know all the platforms where we are, but we definitely appreciate your support so far. So I am in the lab here at home in the basement, and this is where I do a lot of my editing, my creating down here. But I had an epiphany recently where I wanted to share something that I am challenging fathers. So, wives, if you have not had a chance, and I'll get into this later, different people, I'm going to encourage you to share this live with a father that you may know. Um, so we'll get to that in just a minute. But I definitely want to start with some gratitude and some thanks and appreciation for all of you, like I said earlier, but also I'm grateful to be a father. I'm grateful to be a son. I'm grateful to be a husband as well. So, all of those things I'm grateful for. Yeah, and that, like I said earlier, on top of all that, I'm a photographer, co-host of the Hey Dad podcast. So fatherhood conversations and things of that nature are truly, really, really close to my heart. So I want to tell you why I wanted to start this 21-day challenge, and let me kind of give you a little bit of backstory, right? So a couple days ago, or probably last weekend, I was really missing my son. Like I was really missing that kid. And you know, I was hesitant to reach out, but I did. I went ahead and I reached out. Didn't hear back from him, right? Like a lot of 16-year-olds, this can be normal behavior for a teenager not to respond back to the parent. But I did reach out, right? Nothing, didn't hear anything back. I think it was maybe not this past Sunday, but maybe the previous Sunday. I had my daughter here. I was in the bed, and she was in her room. I was asleep. It was probably like 9:30. It was early, right? And I get a call from my son, and I jump up and I'm excited. And he called me because he wanted to share with me in that moment that he had just made some steak, right? And he was so proud of this steak that he had made and how it was going to taste and how it looked and just the joy on his face. And after that phone call, I realized just how important it is that I love to hear from him. So the next day I sent him a text message. I said, "Hey son, I want to thank you for that opportunity last night to just hear your voice before I went to bed. I don't take it for granted and I appreciate it." And I had shared that um, with a coworker, a buddy of mine, and he had said to me, he was like, "Man, listen, man, just keep trying, keep calling them." And I know this, right? But sometimes we can get a little bit down, right? Whatever. But I was like, you know what? I wonder if I, along with other fathers, would want a platform where we could encourage each other that for at least 21 days straight, that we are intentional about fathering, right? And so that's the whole reason for it, right? Um, I just kind of felt like we needed something was real, consistent, nothing complicated or anything like that, um, and something that doesn't take a lot of money. So I don't want you to feel as though this has to do with, spending 50 to $100 with their child. That's not what this is about. I don't want it to feel like that. I definitely don't want it to be that. Okay. um, just a no excuse approach to better communication with our kids. That's at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? Because life gets busy, we got work, we got bills, distance, emotions, all of it. Um, and sometimes what we don't mean to, but it's easy for us to um, become inconsistent. So this challenge is really about the habit of building um, communication. It could be a phone call, could be text, and of course, when possible, quality time, like physically together if you can. Now, in my case, my daughter's here, so that's easier than trying to be with my son because my son is in Georgia with his mother. So keep that into consideration when you're trying to make that time with the children, but don't overthink it. It could be, a walk in the park, could be a matinee movie, could be anything, a quick lunch, just something simple, something spontaneous, right? So today, for example, I was going to go take something to my daughter, but while I was there, I decided, hey, you know what? Let me see if she wants to go for a bike ride. This was not on the agenda, wasn't planned for today. I had the opportunity, so we went ahead, loaded up the bike in the car, and went for a bike ride and had a great time. And went and had some, just some good daddy daughter time together. And ended up going to dinner as well. Took her to a restaurant that I had never taken her to before, and we had a really, really great time. Right, so something like that. It was pretty simple, pretty quick. We had a really great time. And here's the thing, too. Once you start reaching out, especially if it's a text message, if it's a voice memo, or if you leave a voicemail, don't get upset if they don't respond. I know that's tough, right? Easily. I know dads, we can send a long text and we can pour out our heart to our children and they respond back with a thumbs up, right? They respond back with thanks. And that's all you're going to get, right? But I want to encourage you, you know, to just keep going. And the goal of this is not public praise, right? So it's not, I don't want you guys to feel like, oh, you got to get on here the next day and tell everybody what you did. That's not what this is about. It's not even about your child's mother giving you praise. It's not about that as well. It's not about getting internet claps and likes and all that kind of stuff. That's not what it's about. This is truly about just building that time. Now, if you get claps, great. If the mother of your child gives you praise, that's great. But that's not what it's about. So I don't want you guys to think that that's what this is. This is about your child knowing that you're present. This is about your child feeling your presence through text, through voice messages, whatever it is, right? And just simply building a repetition of consistent communication until this is something that becomes normal with you. Right now, for some of you, you may live with your children, and that is truly a blessing. But for a lot of dads that are out there, a lot of fathers don't have that opportunity to connect with their children on a daily basis. So, like me, maybe you're getting your child once every 2 weeks, right? Maybe you live in separate states and you see your child during the summer months from June, July, and August. Whatever the case may be, um, we are trying to build that consistent communication with them. So here's what I need you to do. Wives, share it with your husband, right? If your husband has children, maybe they don't live with you anymore. Maybe, you know, this is your bonus child, but you want to encourage your husband to connect with that child more often. Share with them. Mothers, please, if you catch this as well, share this with the father of your children. This can be something that can encourage them. Listen, if they have a strong relationship, that's great, but there's no harm in making it stronger. I've got a great relationship, I feel, probably closer with my daughter because she's here and she's young. So she's still under that, daddy's the superhero phase, right? Until she gets older to 12, 13, 14. And most likely I'm going to phase out, right? Um, and she'll have her friends. But in the meantime, there's no harm in just continuing to build that relationship. Parents, especially fathers, that's what this is all about. Okay. So I got a couple notes here that I'm reading as well. And really, what we're doing, fellas, we are building a community that shows that we know how to show up. That's really what this is. I really want fellas to really begin to be more intentional about fatherhood and showing up for their children. I'm truly passionate. Listen, let me say this first. Let me also say this. I am not perfect by any means, right? I have made a lot of mistakes in fatherhood. I have made my fair share, and I am the father who would discipline their child, but will turn around 5 minutes later and say, I'm sorry, because maybe I was too harsh in my words, or maybe, I could have said something a little bit different. So, again, I just want to encourage fathers to think about this. So if you're the dad and you're like, man, I don't even know where to begin, I don't know what to say, I don't know how they're going to, respond to me. Let's not overthink it. But I got some prompts for you. Okay. So, dads, you can simply follow these prompts with a text message. Real simple. Okay. And I believe that if you use these prompts to get you started, and I'll share some each day that we jump on here live. Okay. So, first one, let's jump into this. Real simple text. Hey, I was thinking about you today. How are you really doing? That's a simple text. How are you really doing? Right? Because what you're doing with that really is you're getting down to the meat and the substance of how they're really actually doing. It's easy to get caught up in just the natural day to day of, hey, how was school? Good, good. All right. And that's it, right? But you're trying to really foster and dig into some conversation with them. The next prompt could be something, let's see here. What else do I have here? What's one thing that you need from me right now? Support, time, advice, or just listen? That's a great one. That reminds me of a time, I think it was maybe 2 summers ago. I asked my son, I said, hey, kid, um, if I were to work on anything, what do you think I should work on? Right. And that was not an easy question to ask because he could have said anything. And I think I may have even went as far as to say, what three things as your father could I work on? And that was giving him the power to really, or just the platform, should I say, to respond back to me and have dialogue with me in a safe way where he didn't feel like, well, I don't want to seem like I'm being disrespectful to you. No, I gave him the platform in a very calm way and said, son, what things or what 3 to 5 things can I work on as your father? So that's something that you could do as well. You could ask your children, what 3 to 5 things can you work on better as a father? Um, so if fellas, if you're game with this and you know that you could increase and do better to be more intentional about fathering with your children, just simply drop in the chat, I'm in. That's it, right? I just want to see that hopefully I've reached somebody. This is my first time ever going live, so bear with me as I work through, all the kinks of this thing. But I'm stretching myself. I'm stretching myself beyond my comfort zone of what I normally do as a photographer. Normally I'm behind the camera, now I'm in front of it, so it's a little bit different. But I just want to encourage you guys to join me on this 21-day fast. I'll come back, like I said, with more prompts when we go live tomorrow evening as well. And hopefully, dads, by the end of this 21-day challenge, my hope is that you have a stronger, um, more positive, impactful relationship with your son or with your daughter. So please, let's do it, fellas. 21-day challenge, intentional fatherhood.